Hey, it's Joe Amoia, founder and creator of GPSforlove.com. You know, there's this one question I get all the time, and I mean all the time, and it's so prevalent on your mind and the mind of many of the members of our GPS for Love community that I decided to finally create a video for it. And that question is, where do I go to meet a good man? You know, and it's so frustrating, and I get it, because there's a time in my journey where it's like, you know, where do I go? How do I meet the love of my life? Like, there's this magic place, like, you know, just tell me where the secret is. You know, is there this magical little island where all the good ones hang out? You know, and so there's some good news and there's some bad news here. You know, the bad news is there is no magical place. Okay, there is no local hotspot. There is no place on the beach. There is no bar. There is no special spot online where they all hang out. So that is the bad news. The good news is that they're all over. Okay, they're all over the world. Just like you, you're in your area. Okay, you're in your environment. Well, guys are walking around in the same environments. The problem is you're not able to pick up on them, and you're not able to recognize them. So I'm going to give you some tips today that are going to help you on your journey. The number one, the absolute thing you must do is you need to get clear. Ask yourself, if you're going to spend the rest of your life with someone, what is it that you absolutely need? You know, I hear this all the time from someone, you know, and they say, you know, where do I go? And I go, well, what are you looking for? Well, I'm looking for a guy. Well, what kind of guy? Well, you know, a nice guy. Well, I've never met anybody who said, look, Joe, I'm looking for an asshole who's unemployed, who still lives with his mother. I mean, you know, you need more than that. You know, what are those intrinsic qualities and characteristics that you absolutely positively must have? You know, it's not just about chemistry. Sure, is that important? Absolutely. But that's just one piece of the pie. You know, I always say when your mortgage is due on the first of the month, go to the bank and say, you know what, but we have great chemistry, and see how far that gets you. You know, there are other things that you need in order to survive this thing called life and to make your relationship thrive. So when you are clear on what that is, then this whole game becomes much easier. There was a time in my journey where I wasn't clear. It was just, you know, I want a nice girl. And, you know, I kept going out with, you know, nice girls or decent girls or girls that I was really attracted to. And then invariably I found out that we were wrong for each other. Either I found she was wrong for me or she realized I was wrong for her. And I kept wasting my time and going round and round and round and round. So once you get clear, half the battle is going to be won. Now, that doesn't do anything. So you get clear, okay? You create your checklist for love, as I call it, and you're sitting home. The odds that the cable guy is going to ring your doorbell and show up and be the man of your dreams probably isn't going to happen. So you've got to put yourself out there. It's what I call the law of Goya, which means G-O-Y-A, which means get off your ass, which means put yourself out there. Now, this is one of the inherent challenges too, because I know you're watching and go, yeah, but I do. You know, I go online, I go to singles events, I go to ballroom dancing, I go to this, I go to local happy hour, you know, but I'm still not meeting guys. And part of the reason for that is that you're forcing yourself to do it because you feel if you don't do it, you're not going to meet someone. See, part of finding, and I see this all the time with the women that I mentor, is that you got to do you. You got to do what lights you up. Do things that cause you to have fun. You know, I remember one time I went to a single event years ago, and I walked in and I walked out relatively quickly, and I'm like, you know, other than the fact that we're single and we all breathe air, like I have nothing in common with these people. Didn't mean that I was better than them or they were worse than me. It's just that we had nothing in common. It wasn't the quality of person, the type of person that I was looking for. And so I didn't learn how to engage and screen. So that leads us to the third step. The third step is when you're putting yourself out there is you got to be able to screen. First and foremost, you need to differentiate between, is this a guy? I'm sorry, is this a boy or is this a man? Okay, because if you can do that, your life is going to become so much easier. Because part of the inherent challenge, we're all wired to love, and you're looking for love, and your heart is so desperate to have that great relationship that you just go, okay, you're a guy, you're attractive, we have some things in common, great, let's go forward. And that's part of the challenge, because 3 months, if he doesn't disappear in 3 months, or 3 months later, you realize, you know what? This guy isn't really who I thought he was. He's not what I'm looking for. And then you got to go back and start over again. You're like, oh, this sucks. I hate this whole dating thing. Trust me, I get it. So you've got to be able to differentiate really quickly. And you have to sit back and go, okay, show me. Look, you're attractive. You know, the chemistry is amazing. But are you a boy or are you a man? Are you immature, selfish, and emotionally unavailable? Because that's what the boys are. Or are you mature, emotionally available, and unselfish, because that's what men are. So if you can do that, again, half the battle is won. So now you've just differentiated. Okay, you found out that he's a man. Great. Now is he a good man or the right man? Because see, there's a huge difference. There are a lot of guys out there who are good. You know, these are the nice guys. They'll be great husbands. They'll be great providers, but they don't really light you up. They don't give you all of those other things that you're looking for. And it's important if you're going to spend the rest of your life that you have, you know, the guy who's a good man, who's a provider, who's going to take care of you, who's going to be there for you. But you also need those other things, those things that light you up in and out of the bedroom. And that's how you know that you found the right man. Now, I wish I could say that there was this magic place where that guy exists, but I promise you, if you are the person you need to be, and you go out and you follow these couple of tips, that you're going to start experiencing different results. You're going to stop wasting your time on the boys. It's going to put you into a different energy. You're going to have the power. You're going to realize you're not going to come from that place of desperation, like, you know, I got to have them, or I got to make this work, or, you know, the chemistry is so great, you know, this is the best thing ever. No, okay? It's a matter of saying, you know, this is who I am. I deserve a great relationship. And if you're not that great relationship, you're not that good man, you're not the right man, then I need to walk away. And you've got to be able to walk with the uncertainty of the fear of never being able to find him. Because see, that's just your own stuff. I mean, that's part of being human. Anytime we go into an area where we're uncertain, it freaks us out. It scares us. And so we think, well, we never, excuse me, it's Friday morning, I haven't had my coffee yet. I've never been able to find him, okay? I may not find him. You know, I've struggled this hard, because you're basing your future on your past. And that's the worst thing you can do in your relationships. So I know I threw a lot at you, and I know this is tough, but, you know, I want to give you the truth, because there is no magic place. I wish there was. The journey would be so much easier. But again, that's the good news and the bad news, because they are out there. And the truth is, good men are just as frustrated as you are in trying to find a good woman. And if you don't believe me, find a man who's been single for a while, who's looking for a relationship, and ask him what it's like for him. And what you'll see is the circus is the same, the clowns are different. So, know I threw a lot at you. I want you to go back, probably watch this another time or two, and really look at these tips that I gave you, you know, about getting clear. You know, are you putting yourself out there and putting yourself out there in the right way? And are you really screening guys well enough? And I promise, if you do these few things, you're going to see big things change in your life. That's my goal. That's my intention for you. So as always, it's an honor and privilege to be with you. I'll see you next time. But before I go, I want to remind you, put your questions, comments, and feedback in the box below. I'll see you next time. Much love.